Hey gang, it's Rudder. Long time no video, I know. I've been about the 99% mark on the basement. As most of you know, I've been finishing my basement, so I haven't had much time in the car. It's weird how I did that. I finished the basement inside, downstairs in the summer, and I'm going to spend the winter working on my car in the garage, a cold garage, here in Colorado. Yeah, I didn't think that out too well. At any rate, the Fox Mustang, or the Fox body Mustang radiator in a classic Mustang mod is about complete. I got my at the 95% mark. I got the radiator sitting in there right now. I just have the cardboard over it, just protect the cores because I've had it in and out like 52 million times. So let me go ahead and pull the radiator out, and I'll walk you guys through what I've done. You're gonna get a rudder butt shot here. Okay, now that I have that down, I'll go ahead and walk you through what I've done. Make sure you can see it in the camera. All right. All right, what I've done here, we got a cardboard piece. Okay. Most of you know the stock radiator hole here, I think, is about 14 to 15 inches wide, thereabouts. It's really not all that wide compared to what is available nowadays. Again, that radiator is is an aftermarket aluminum 3-core radiator that fits a Fox body. So any Fox body radiator will work. I just happened to grab that one, I think off eBay or something silly like that. But anyway, I wanted a bigger radiator because first off, it's more efficient. It's a cross flow, and I'm putting a larger displacement motor in here, so I need all the coolant I can get. Because the brass 4-core, the stock one in here, I had a 2-core, and then I put a brass 4-core, and it just barely cooled the 302 that I had in there before. But yeah, so with that radiator, I think it'll be more efficient, and I'll keep the engine cool. Okay, what I've done is I made a template in the core, as you see here, to base everything off of. What you need to do is you need to measure here, because you need to find your center line of the radiator, because where it's going to sit. You don't want to measure up here, because all the goofy stuff in the way and the improper measurements you might get from side to side. So I based it here because the subframes, the frame rails are probably the straightest thing in the car. So basically I measured this, I think it was like 32.5, something like that. Don't get me lying. Just measure this, split it in half, which I think is 16.25, which is right there. All I did is I transferred the measurement up here. You might see the blue line. I took my little core piece, I cut this exactly like the radiator core, and I just matched my lines up, like so, right there and there. And then I took my handy dandy Sharpie here. I marked the lines, and then I took my plasma cutter. Voila, there you go. I still need to finish cutting out here, as you see. I'm not going to square it off because I still want to maintain some kind of, curvature to it. Plus, I want to keep it as strong as possible here. So I'm probably going to take my die grinder and finish cutting these out here. I'm going to cut the top off here square, and I'm going to finish cutting this out. But otherwise, the cutting is done, other than that. Now, one thing I had to do to the inside, what I decided to do was stud the radiator. Instead of, there's a couple different ways you could stick this in there. I mean, there's hundreds of different ways to skin a cat. This is the way I chose to skin the cat. I welded studs, and I'll show you here, because I'm not going to run a hood latch. I'm going to run the hood locks. So I used the holes where I think the hood, the top of the hood grab is right here. So I use those 2 holes. I put studs in there and welded them in the back, welded them here, showing the back side, and I'll show you that here in a second. I also did the same thing down here. I welded a couple studs in. That way the radiator will just sit against here. I'm going to put a seal. I'm going to put a 1/2 inch thick seal around here. before I put the radiator in. That way it'll just keep it from, you know, rubbing against the body itself, because it does fit right, it's snug right against the car. So let me go ahead and pop the camera off there, disconnect it from the power cable, and I'll show you what I've done from the other side. So sorry about the shaky cam. Go ahead and give this a whirl real quick. Pop the camera off. Hopefully you saw my whole mess on that. Shaky cam coming up. Okay, what I've done on this side, let me go ahead and, because I got my welding stuff there, still a mess. Alright, as you see, I put 2 studs up there and 2 studs down there. One thing I did is I welded a piece in, because I was going to originally mount it right there, just sitting on that piece right there. Because I got 2 purposes for this piece. One was going to be mount the radiator on, and then the other was going to be for a jack pad that I'm going to install later. I needed more metal there, and I'll walk you through the jack pad install too. But for the stock guys, you know, there's a lip here, and this is where your strut rod bar comes here to here. Same on the other side, goes from there to there, the strut rod brace. I took all that stuff out because obviously I got a rod and custom piece in here. But I'm going to put a jack pad, so I just welded it. When you cut the braces off, you cut the underside. So I just put a piece of sheet steel, flattened it out, ran it across the entire bottom there. Go ahead and back up a couple. I think my other video I showed how I had to notch these for the tanks. I still got to finish grinding yet. And I did that to the other side. I think I had the measurements in there like 1.5 by 1 or 3 by 1, something like that. 3 by 1 by 1. The measurements are in the other video. Now, right there, let me see if I can zoom in on it. Come on, baby, zoom in. Right there, those holes are where I think the harness goes in for the headlights or something like that. The horns, don't get me lying, but I know there's a harness goes through there. What they did is they just punched the hole and they rolled the steel out. So there are these like castellations on the outside. You got to grind those off because the radiator sits flush against there. If not, it'll sit kind of crooked. So what I did, I just simply took a chisel, cut the stuff off, ground it, and good to go. I'm gonna have the car soda blasted, so all this paint's gonna come off of it. So you know it's okay. I still got the black paint on there. All right, but what I did is I welded 2 studs there. I welded one there, one there, and the radiator simply just slides against the. Slides against there. Like I said, I'm going to put a 1/2 inch piece of foam, 1/2 inch thick piece of foam here, just to protect it. That, and one more. I have to make one more cut right here from a radiator cap. So I'll cut that bad boy out, and that should be it. Otherwise, that is about done. Let me plug in my camera real quick. So sorry for the shaky cam again. And so the next plan is I'm going to put in the plates that go inside, the rod and custom plates that go in there. So that's the next project I'm going to do after I finish this. I still have a little bit of grinding to do underneath the little panel there, just to get it flush for, like I said, when I run my jack pad, because I'm gonna get a piece of angle iron about that thick, about 4 inches. I'm going to put a jack pad there, and I'm going to have just bars going here and there just to reinforce so when I jack it up. Because I don't want to jack it up on that thing. That's too nice. When that's painted, that's going to be too nice. Plus my rack is going to be right there. So I'm going to build a jack pad, weld it under here, and it'll probably be, I don't know, 6 inches wide. They're about 6 to 8 inches wide. And I'll just have a couple cross pieces going there and there. That'll help strengthen the car. Granted, it'll add some weight to the nose, but I'll just overcome with horsepower, right? Okay, like I said, the next project is for the panels to go in. And the goofy thing is that, in fact, I don't have access to the panels real quick. But I'm going to do something different. I'm going to add little cups to the inside, because I know a lot of these panels are open right there, so you can see the suspension, inside and both outside. I'm going to add some removable cups, so the alignment can be done easier, but it'll still cover all the suspension pieces and keep dirt out or keep dirt in, one of the two. But that's the next thing I'm going to do. But yeah, there's an update, guys. If you have any questions, go ahead and let me know. Post them, and I'll get to them fast as I can. I promise I'll answer this time. I've just been what we call temporary duty a lot the last couple months. So I've been in and out of the state doing stuff, you know, in the military. So I gotta do that first. But yeah, I'll probably give a final update after I cut the final couple inches I have to cut there and notch for the radiator cap, and that's pretty much done. Of course I gotta grind the welds, but you know, I'll get to that too. Yeah, so thanks guys, thanks for hanging with me. You know, it's been a long summer working on the basement. Like I said, we'll have the Garage Gang monthly meeting downstairs in the basement, and I'll provide all the booze and food. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Like I said, thanks for subscribing, thanks for commenting, and thanks for watching. See you guys later.